Welcome to Geeker. Today we're going to be talking about name ranges in Google Sheets. So let's get started. So the purpose of name ranges is to make it a lot easier to navigate through a lot of data. So I'm going to show you an example so that you can understand why it's really important and really useful to use this. So in this example, I have a ton of different items, prices per item, and amounts as far as sales. And you can see that these are all different. Now, let's say on this next sheet, I just want to gather just the totals. I want to know the total orders and then the total amount that we made. So when I'm doing a name range, it's going to make it easier. But first, I'm going to do it without a name range so you can see how it can be confusing. So from here, I'm just going to use the count A function. I just want to know how many orders we had for coffee. So I'm just going to pull from these lines, and I'm just going to hit it just like that. So I'm selecting the rows that have the item as coffee, and I just hit enter, and it has 22. So it's fine, but the only thing is, if I'm doing this from multiple, let's say I want to do it for bagels and then for cookies, it'll be confusing to really know what I'm dealing with, right? So what I'm going to do instead of having it be just by the range, I'm going to name the range. So I'm going to go back, and right here I'm going to select this range, then I'm going to go to data, and then I click named ranges. And so let's say I just want to name this one coffee underscore orders. Now the reason why I put an underscore is because you're not allowed to put a space. So you can either do the underscore or you can leave it without a space. I could delete this, but I like having the underscore because it makes it easier to read. So I'm going to click done, and now watch what happens. So I'm going to do the same function, count A, and if I just type in C, it'll bring up all the other functions that start with C. But if you scroll down, you see how now coffee orders, that name range that I just made, is now showing up as an option. And then I hit enter. And again, we come up with 22. So now we can see, oh, okay, this is the total orders for coffee. So this is just making it a lot easier. So now let's name a few more ranges to make this a lot easier for us. So in the coffee section, I'm just going to name the range for amount. Because I have this open, it's going to allow me to just click add a range again. So this one we're going to do coffee, and we'll just say total. And then I'm going to hit done. So when I go back here, I can do the sum of, I type C, and now this is going to show up. And I click enter, and there it is. So now if I'm looking at this, let's say I'm an outsider and I'm coming in to work on the sheet, I already know what they're referring to. Now, one more thing I want to show you, and I'm going to work on another range. What I like to do, I'm just going to name this bagels orders. Instead of just limiting it to just those cells, you can actually do, sometimes I like to do, like, if I know there's not going to be a whole lot, I could do that into 100, or you could just leave it blank, and what it'll do is it'll just pull everything. So that way, if you're adding more orders, your name range is not limited to what you first selected. So if I go back here to bagels, and I do the count A function, and I type B, now I have bagels orders. Okay, and then if I go here, and I'm going to name this, right, we're going to say bagels total, and again, I'm just going to make sure that that goes all the way down. And then if I go here, equals the sum of, right here, bagels total. You can see how much easier that is. So in these two examples right here, we just use the name ranges. Now, let's say that you named the range and you're like, oh, I maybe I didn't extend it as far as I could. That's easy to fix. You just go to data, named ranges, and then from here, you see the little pencil? So let's say the cookies, I needed to go down further. You could just go in there and you can change your range. So I'm just going to change it just like that. Click the pencil, and I could change the range, and it's good. And then so when I go back here, equals count A, cookies, right? Cookies orders, and then equals the sum of cookies total. And I like to be uniform, so that way as I'm seeing it, coffee orders, coffee total. Bagel orders, bagels total. See the uniformity in that? It just makes it easier. But that's it. That's how we use name ranges in Google Sheets. I hope you guys found this helpful, and please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more useful tips.